Boom. We're going to shrink this down a little bit. All right, here we go, everybody. So this crown is the most commonly recognized crown. I'm going to shrink this down even more. Everybody can see all of it here. Boom. Everybody recognize this. This crown is the most commonly recognizable crown to the average person. The front view is most popular. Let me show you the back view to get a clearer understanding. So everybody's seen this front view. Of course, this is a Tehuti Amun, son of Akhenaten, the son of Akhenaten. And we're going to get into the back of the crown. Let's take a look at the back of the crown. This is the side that's not too popular. What do we see here? What does this look like, everybody? Let's take a look at the back of the crown. Okay, we can clearly see the back is narrow, then it expands like the body of a cobra does. So we see here a long thing coming down here, and then we see this expansion that's designed to look like a cobra head and the rays of the sun. This is the most popular of the Kemetic crowns. Okay, let's take a look at this and break this down. So boom, this is what it's imitating right here. If you can see on the screen, this is what the crown is imitating. You can clearly see the back is narrow, then it expands like a cobra. Let me blow this up to show you on the screen. There it is. What does this represent, everybody? Does anybody know? You know, I'm going to break it down even deeper, but let me go in the room and see if anybody knows. What does this cobra represent? Why are these pharaohs wearing a cobra on their head? Darius with always the right guesses. Darius. I wonder who Darius is. Darius, who are you, brother? Darius is an avid studier of Kemetic knowledge. He always gets, I'd say, about 98% of the answers. He gets it right. Okay, so we got you killed it on Sun Enter 110. Thank you, Yeet. Thank you. And you saw Yeet. I thought you just defending me too against the that DSR guy who haunts me on every show, whether I'm Killer Priest on it or here, who's always typing negative things about me and whoever he may be. I think it was ex Nawabi, but shout out to you. Shout out to you for representing. Okay, so we got Knowingly, we got Arcade Infinite Knowingly, we got King Cobra, Pineal gland with a question mark. Okay, pineal gland with a question mark. Jody says agreed. Yeet yeet. Okay, good. We got third eye activation. Pineal gland. We got wisdom. We got what did Yeet say? We got all the teachers I've seen over my years. Tehuti Amun Hotep Ra is the best. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Yeet. Thank you, Yeet, very much. Appreciate that for your appreciation of me. We got knowledge. We got enlightenment. Okay, good. You guys are okay. Very good. Chandler Brigade says wisdom. We got ever since you broke down the Travis Scott on Killer Priest, at one time I've been hooked on your teachings. We're going to be talking about Travis Scott again today, by the way, Jay. All right, so we got okay, good. Pretty much everybody's pretty good. Anointed Sadat Amun-Re. Shout out to this name here. I've never seen you before, but Anointed Sadat Amun-Re says, I'm deadly as this snake. Don't try me. That sounds like a cannabis lyric. Shout out to you. Reptilians. Okay, good. Brilliance. Feminine, masculine. Okay, good. Let's get into it, everybody. Welcome to Tehuti Podcast. Here is the serpent. And let's get into it. So let me take you to the Per M Haru to see the name of this crown. Here we go, everybody. So let's look at the name of this crown based on what the Kemetians said. You will understand, everybody, as you envelop yourself in my teachings and how I do it, is that whenever I teach you something from a culture, I'm going to go to you based on what they say, not based on the occultist, esoteric. Madam Blavatsky said this. John D said this. Whatever people say, no. If you're talking about a culture, go to them. So here we go. Let's take it right to the Purim Haru, the oldest spiritual book on the surface of the planet Earth, 1250 BC. To take possession of things of Osar in the Tuat, he has spoken to Rareti, the double lion, to me, the chief, which appeareth in the house of the Nemes. Here it is right here, everybody. I think it was Darius typed this one. Darius got it right. This is called the Nemes. It's right over here in the Purim Haru. And this is the Nemes right there. It says it right there. The Nemes crown, which is in his hiding place. Get thee back to the heights of the pet, the heavens. Kemetic Heru. Get thee back to the heights of the heavens. So there's what it's called in the in Kemet and the Nile Valley. It's called the Nemes. Okay, so we got the name of it. Let's further break it down. But what does Nemes mean? What does Nemes mean according to what the Kemetians themselves say? What does it mean? All right, so now we're going to go into, everybody can check this out. This is one of my old books. I think it's from 1905. I don't know. This is one of the old books here. Egyptian reading here, vocabulary. And we go to Nemes. And we see on page 89 of there in this particular dictionary, Nemes, and it means to enlighten. Wonderful. So we have this crown, which means to enlighten. So the cobra head represents enlightenment, and this is where the concept came from, that the cobra actually represents knowledge. It is the expansion of the mind, or as the cobra is visually seen expanding himself in front of the Kemetians. Let's take a look and see. We're going to blow this up here. Welcome to the Tehuti Podcast. We're going in on the facts. This symbolizes expansion of consciousness, which gives one the ability to make proper judgment. Look at Ma'at and Tehuti, and what so many people think is long hair is in actuality the side of the cobra's head. To see, to judge is Ma'at. So this is where the concept came from, why billions of women on the planet wear longer hair than men. It is from a misconception, which we're going to get into even more later, breaking down the Purim Haru. But unfortunately, it is the misunderstanding of the ancient Kemetians why women believe that longer hair in actuality is beautiful, which actually started black women perming their hair, because Europeans were the first to believe in this, from this misconception of long hair, which actually was not long hair. It was actually a wig that was in the shape of a cobra head, or a helmet, or a crown that looked from a distance. It looked like longer hair, and it was on mostly the women and the Medunetter. It was on the pharaohs, but mostly on the women, because the way that you put a determinative for women in the Medunetter is actually a cobra. The snake actually makes something feminine in the Medunetter. This was confused as long hair, and ever since that point, for thousands and thousands of years, starting from the Greeks, people believe that women hair is supposed to be long and men's hair is supposed to be short. This actually came from the concept of the Nemes and the misunderstanding when the Greeks were viewing the Nemes. Here it is right here. So when you look at this image right here, you'll say, hey, look at this long, beautiful hair. You'll notice that this is not hair at all. This in actuality is a particular shape. And that's why you see something coming down the front and something coming down the back. Just as we can see this, and we would never say Tehuti has long hair, this blue type image here, we see something coming down the front, something coming down the back. This is the side view of the Nemes. When you look at it from the front view, it looks like the cobra head. This is Ma'at, and in actuality, when Ma'at was a ruler, her name inside of the Shen, or the cartouche, was in actuality a cobra. The cobra was a part of her name. So the cobra represents Ma'at. It represents vision, wisdom, and enlightenment, which is what these two bring, Ma'at and Tehuti. Ma'at, which represents the law, perception, and vision, which we're going to get into the Eye of Heru and how it ties into that. And then Tehuti, the lawgiver and the writer of the law, both wearing the same symbol of the enlightened Nemes. So here it is, everybody. You can see it right in front of you. Let me shrink this down a little bit. And here we go. Let me go over here. So we're back here in the Purim Haru. And we actually can see I have entered into Rastau. I have seen. So you see the word to see something is in actuality Ma'at. It means to see and to perceive. That is Ma'at. I see the hidden things, the Seta. That was the turtle, because the turtle hides itself in its shell. So when you have Ma'ah, you see the hidden things. You see what is not seen by the physical eye. You see hidden things. That's why Shannon and others put up on the screen, they say third eye, because they know your third eye is able to see things that are not seen by the visual light spectrum. Okay, everybody, here we go. Let me shrink this down a little bit, and I'm going to show you how this got influenced into women's hair. Here is the ma'ah, the wig, and as you can see, the women wearing the wig and the way that it's designed. It is designed in the shape of the cobra head, which developed these later hairstyles. Unfortunately, the hairstyles that were stripped of the consciousness, so now sisters just wear these as hairstyles. When actuality, it represented the nemes, and we have on top the pyramidos right here, which is actually a wax that would burn down, and the nemes would actually protect their actual hair because this wax would burn down, give the women and the men a beautiful scent, and then it would melt down on the wig, and then he would just take the wig off and put another one on. But this was the Namiz wig, which is why it was shaped like that. Okay, so this is why long hair became associated with beauty. In actuality, it represented the wig that was in the shape of the Namiz crown, which represented Namiz and Ma'ah. Okay, so because the serpent cobra in Kemet was expansion of consciousness associated with the eyes / seeing, judgment of good and evil. What do you think? What do you think that became? What do you think that became? So remember, the Namiz wig represented judgment, seeing something and dividing it from good and evil. So what do you think that became, ladies and gentlemen? Let me show you what that became. That became stolen and put into the book of Genesis. Remember, the Ma'ah is the eye, the eyes. I have seen the hidden things. So it's a different type of eye. It's not the regular physical eye. Of Ma'at, it is the eye that sees the hidden things, so it represents knowledge. Our judgment, the separation of good and evil. This concept was stolen, thrown in, and Netzar the Great is going to like this. Stolen and thrown into Genesis 3:5. For God does know the day that thee eat thereof, your eyes will be open, and you shall be as gods. Judgment, knowing good from evil. So what made you a god in ancient times, copied into Genesis, was the ability to judge, ma'ah, the knowing and the separation of good from evil. Obviously, Adam and Eve in the Bible's eyes were already open, so it must be talking about another type of eye or another type of vision or another type of judgment, another type of sight, the ability for you to decipher what is good from evil. That concept came directly from the Nemes, from Ma'ah, which was the ability to decipher and judge the difference between good and evil, which is why in the beginning of the Per Em Haru, the Ma'ah is shown as a scale. What is it doing? Judging good from evil. So becoming wise judge was to know both sides, good from evil. You are enlightened when you can see mental expansion as the cobra head mentally expands. Boom. Okay, we're going to keep going because you know how we do things here on the Tehuti podcast. We keep going like the Energizer Bunny. We keep going and going and going. We're not going to end there. We're going to keep it continuing, everybody. It is overflow time. Let us go. So, and of course, the influence of the Kemetic judgment crown doesn't stop there. Who here remembers what judges started wearing on their heads? Let me go into the chat room and see, because I like being interactive. Who here remembers what judges started wearing on their head? Old judges, they don't rule much now, but who here remembers what judges used to wear on their head? Boom, boom, boom. I'll give everybody about 10 seconds. Let's see what you type in the room. Darius and Desmond. You guys are quick on the draw. I wouldn't want to play Family Feud against them. All right, Darius puts wigs. Desmond puts wigs. Darius puts wigs. White wigs. Somebody put dusty wigs. Who put that? Somebody. Oh, Chandler Brigade, a comedian. Chandler put dusty lace wig. Dusty lice wigs. White wigs from George Washington. There we go. George Washington wore it. In Trinidad, they still do. Right. Some still do, and in parts of so-called Africa, they still do. All right. White wigs. Yes. Jody put white wigs. Perfect. You all know. Okay, wigs. Senator Amun put wigs with extra S. Okay. Dusty. Okay, so you all are pretty good. Absolutely. So of course Tehuti was the judge. Here's Tehuti. Tehuti the judge wearing the nemes. So here we are, as we see that it is not long hair, ladies. It is not extension wig hair. It is the nemes. The nemes, you can actually see the design of it is the exact same design with the lines in it that you see way up here. See that? You see King Tut, Tut Amun, you see the lines in it. The nemes, this is not hair. It's going down the front, it's going down the back, and we go all the way back down to Tehuti, and we'll see him wearing the same. There it is right there, going down the front, going down the back, and there it is. And he was the judge. He was the first judge, according to Ra. Tehuti was made the first judge to decide for good from evil when the battle took place between Ra and those who were attacking him. And he sent out Sekhmet the Uwajit, which we're going to be talking about, Bastet later on. So here it is. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! There are the judges. Kemetic influence on modern day reality. There are the judges. Why are they wearing this? Look at it coming down the front, going down the back. The exact same. You see that? Coming down the front, going down the back. Boom. Tehuti the judge. And then the modern day judges. There it is, everybody. You can actually purchase this. You can actually purchase this this piece right here. How much you think this costs? This wig here, just to show you how serious these Europeans take the imitation. How much do you think this wig costs here? Do you think it costs $40, $20, $100, $350, $80? How much is this? Nuns also. That's right. Where's Raphael? That is right. Nuns also. Yes, yes, yes. Not extensions. That's right. Tell them. All right. So Ava says, wow, interesting. That is right. How much do you think this wig costs, everybody? Can you get it for 50 bucks? How much does it cost? Uh-oh. 2,000. Is that euros? 2,625 euros. You can get yourself one. This costs more than your Yeezys. This costs more than your Nikes. This costs more than all your fashion Gucci belts. $2,625. That's how serious these Europeans take the Tehuti Nemes wig. Boom. There it is right there, front and back. I have it there to show you side by side. You can see it coming down the front, coming down the back. And you can see it right there with the serpent, and then it expands, representing the expansion of light. And there it is coming down the front, coming down the back, copied into modern day times. There it is right there, the wig. There are the judges with the wig, and there is Tehuti, stolen, boom, copied from the Nemes crown, the Nemes crown. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And there are the sisters wearing it right there. And the gorgeous, beautiful sister wearing it right here. Poor sister, more than likely 90% chance doesn't even know why this hairstyle is even popularized and why her eyes are like this. This whole image is exactly how the Kemetic women looked. The eyes tilting up to the side with this type of hair coming down like this actually had all spiritual meaning to it. Today, it is just vanity. And we're here to bring back the spiritual meaning so sisters and brothers know what they are doing. So there it is. There's the first crown. That is just the Nemes. There is the summary of it. You can see it all on the screen. That is the first crown right there, the Nemes, asked from XA. There is the first crown right there. Boom. But you know how we are on the Tehuti podcast. We're not going to stop right there. We're going to keep on going. There is the next part of the movie. Here we go, everybody. What is going on here? All right, there's the first one right there. I hope you appreciated that answer. That's just number one. We're going to go into number two because it's about to get deep, deeper than Atlantis, deeper than the sea floor, traveled by the mantis. Here we go. What is this, everybody? What is this? Here is Heru wearing the double crown. And let's take a look at what this is. Here's another crown. This one is very popular. Everyone should already know the double crown represents unification of North and South Kemet. But of course, here at the Tehuti podcast, I will take it deeper. I will explain what people are calling a crown in Kemet, which is in actuality is a high technological symbol of mathematics. So what you thought was this a crown in Kemet is a high technological symbol of mathematics. Let me check the chat real quick. It's going to be deep tonight. We're going for hours tonight. We're going and going and going and going. It's going to be a lot. Here we go. Well, somebody put $500, $300. Okay, so let's go, everybody. Let's go. $80. Sanetti put 80. I didn't even see the guesses here. Somebody put 500. $500. Somebody put 500. I don't know. I think Darius put 500. Somebody put 300. I'm not seeing this in real time, so I'm scrolling up, down, 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 down. Okay, Brandon Brigade put 150. All right, but anyways, you all know that that wig was $2,000 and plus dollars. $2,000 and plus dollars. Okay, everybody. Here it is. Darius McNair put 500. Jesus put 300. Boom. 2,500. Here's the next crown right here. So what is this crown here? We're gonna go over to the Shabbati. The Shabbati, Shabbati, Shabbati. The Shabbat. Here it is right here, everybody. So we're gonna go into the Shabbati, but who's this a Shabbati of? This is a Shabbati of probably someone you've never heard of before. The Shabbati of Tehuti Amun Hotep. Look at this powerful brother right here. Let's get a look at him. There he is right there. He looks serious. He looks serious. That is his Shabbati. All right, so let's get a look at this and see what's going on here with Tehuti Amun. And let's take a look at what this is. So first, let's look at the word crown. And the word crown is ka. Yes, it is ka. The same word for the ka that is within. It is the sound of the word that is important in Kemet, not the spelling, because the different spelling is just determined on the imagery that is in the words. But the ka that's in your body, which is representative of your consciousness, the double bioenergetic template, which rises out of the body, but not too far from the body like the ba. We see the ka here, and we see the sun, the horizon symbol, and that is the word for crown. So you see in Kemet how serious they were. What we have here is just crown. In actuality, is a sun rising, a resurrection sun, and it's ka'a. It's like the ka'a in your body, the ka. Okay, so here we go. The ka, what it says here in the Per Haru, chapter 15, page 133. If you have your Per Haru, it says, "Thou art crowned in majesty of beauties, the Neferu Ka, the Neferu Ka." So what you have here is crown, in actuality is ka. So the first word for crown was ka, which meant to rise. It actually means rise as the sun, your ka. Rising, this concept actually created the concept from whence the word crown derives from. So the whole concept of crown, the why we have the word crown today in English, actually comes from the sunrise in Kemet. Here it is right here, everybody. Get a good look. And there is, see that symbol right there the Kemetians would see? The rising of the sun over the horizon. That's what this represents right here. And that was the ka, which is crown. And it developed the English word crown, which is crown from corona. Corona, not the virus, but the virus was actually named after the corona, like the sun. So here is corona right here, Latin corona, garland. And you see right here, the corona right here, to turn, to bend. And it was the actual old word for the sun, or the corona, the light, which is here. See, it is luminous circle, luminous circle. So the luminous circle, which is the sun, was the corona. And from the word corona in Latin, or they say Spanish, corona, came the word coron, and coron came crown. And that is why we say crown today. It all comes from ka, the symbol of the horizon, which is why the Kemetians wore it, the symbol of the expansion again of the light in your mind. Here we go again to Senka. Let me shrink this down in here. Very, 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 very rare picture. You'll probably never see this again. This is an extremely rare picture. And what I'm going to break down in this picture is going to be very interesting. Senka Amun Hotep, king of what the Europeans call Nubia. No such place. It was actually Ta-Nehisi or Ta-Seti. No such place as Nubia. But in the encyclopedias, when you look this up, it will say Sinka Amin Sinken, king of Nubia, clubbing his foes. This image has several symbolic meanings in it with symmetry. You see the symmetry here? The exact same thing on this side is the exact same mirror on this side. Exact same thing over here is the exact. The Kemetians were extremely serious. They could have just put Sinka Amin clubbing people, but no. They have to put the exact same. The heel goes up here. The heel is going to go up exactly here. The toe is here. The toe is going to be there. Everything in symmetry. The Kemetians we were serious with our imagery. But look at the crowns. He's wearing a crown. Look at the crown he's wearing right here. Everybody get a good look at it. Very similar. The crown there with the swirl coming out. What is this crown right here, though, everybody? Let's break it down. See the crown over here with the swirl coming out. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class. We are going to break it down like you've never heard it broken down before. This is going to be a great class. This is the double crown. This is from the temple of Seti I at Abti, that the Europeans call Abydos. But what is the crown that you see Senka wearing? What is this crown that they're wearing? What does it actually represent? Let us break it down. I actually blew up the image right here. I blew it up right here so you can see it, and I'm going to shrink it down a little bit. And let's see what this crown actually is. Here it is right here. Get a good look at it. One more time, I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit and get a good look at this, everybody. What is this? Well, I'm going to show you something you've probably never heard before. And that's what we do here at the pod class. That is what I am here for. This conscious awareness in Kemet was represented by the eye, which also represented the sun, which is what caused the eye to see. Some say Tehuti. How is the crown associated with the eye? I've never heard that before. The popular Kemetic teachers don't teach that. Let's take another look at the erect crown, but this time we're going to put it sideways. Let's take a look, everybody. Boom, there's the crown. I'm going to shrink it down. There is the crown. Get a good look. But what is this? Has anybody ever put it sideways before? Well, let's put it sideways. Boom. What is that, everybody? Get a good look. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class, everybody. We are breaking it down. We are breaking it down. We take the crown and we put it sideways. Does that look familiar to anybody? The Kemetians make no mistakes. Does this look familiar? Let me check the chat and see. Does this crown look familiar to anyone now that I turned it sideways? Does it look familiar, anybody? Does it look familiar? Boom. Fibonacci time. Who put that? Who put Fibonacci time? Killing it. All right, boom. I lost it. Somebody put Fibonacci time. All right, but anyways, anybody see this? The crown sideways. What does it look like, everybody? Let's take a look. What does it look like? Let's see. We're going to look in the room. It looks like the Eye of Horus, which is going to lead into Scribe's question. The Eye of Horus. What does this look like? All right. Nestor the Great puts, I don't know what face this is. He put some kind of face here. Very interesting. Tehuti made history now again. Okay. Thank you, Hati Ma'at. What does it look like, everybody? Boom. Shannon Southard puts down fire, 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 because you know Shannon's going to get right into your question of Ba'as, of Bast. It's all going to link in. What is this, everybody? It's the crown sideways. Let's take a look. The Kemetians make no mistake. So what you thought, when you look at this image over here and you say, hey, that looks like a crown, it is a crown. But how deep are the Kemetians? The Kemetians are serious. They put imagery within imagery. So you're looking at this image, and now your eyes are open. You will never look at the crown again the same. You can actually see the circle right there. See the swirl. Here, the Tehuti Pod class. What did we do? Let's put it sideways, and boom. Let's do this, everybody. Let us do this. This is going to be a long breakdown. It's going to go sideways, and here we are. Boom. Let's put them side by side and take a look at them together. Boom. There it is sideways. Boom. There's the Uwajet sideways. Boom. There's the crown sideways. Boom. And we see this crown even has the circle representing the sun. And there's the Uwajet with the sun. And here is the cobra, which literally is a Wadjet. There it is, everybody. Check it out. We are breaking it down. Welcome to Tehuti Podcast. XA asked the right question, and you get the right answer. So boom. Now, many times again and again, people put their own deductive reasoning over what the boom. Now, many times again and again, people put their own deductive reasoning over what the ancients write themselves. Here I teach my students not to do so, but to go to the writings of the ancients themselves and their own culture. So, is it Tehuti using locology, or did the Kemetic people themselves say this? So is it Tehuti saying, hey, this looks like a crown, it looks like an eye, let me put this together, let me make it up. Or did the Kemetians themselves call the crown an eye? Well, let's look it up. Let's look into what we say at the Tehuti Pod class, which is our motto. And the motto is, of course, we say it over and over again. What is it? It is ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. Ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. Ancestral artifacts over religious opinion. So let's go into the ancestral artifacts. Let's go into what the Kemetians wrote themselves, not into the esoteric, opinionated, not into the occult, and not into that. Let's go with the culture said about themselves. So here we go. We are going to go now into the pyramid texts, the oldest known spiritual writing on the surface of this planet Earth. The pyramid text going back 2400 BC. It says, I give you, let me blow this up. Let's see what the Kemetians write themselves about the crown. What did they say about the crown? I give you the crown of Upper Kemet, the eye, which went up from your head. I give you the crown of Lower Kemet, the eye, which went up from your head. Pyramids text 641, coffin text 42. The dread of you is intact. The eye of Heru, namely the white crown. I love it. I love it when the ancestors speak. When the ancestors speak, you can't lose the debate. You can't lose the teaching, because anybody that argues with you is arguing with the ancestors. They're not arguing with you, ladies and gentlemen. They're arguing with the ancestors. So, O King, I provide you with the eye of Heru. What is that? The red crown. We've covered all the crowns. The red crown, the white crown. Rich in power, many nurtured. Pyramid text 468. The white crown, the eye of Heru, goes up from your head. Heru has given you his eye. In the chemist's crown, red eye of Heru goes up from your head, and you appear as king of Upper and Lower Egypt. Yeah, Egypt. Appear with the double crown. So it's the white crown is the eye. The red crown is the eye. The double crown is the eye. The crown, I give you the crown of Upper Kemet, the eye. So the Kemetians themselves are telling you that the crown is the eye. They told you. But the Kemetic teachers of today are not teaching you. So I am here to make it clear and speak and help you understand what the ancestors said for themselves, so we do not overwrite history. The eye has issued from your head as the Upper Kemet crown. The eye has issued from your head as the Upper Kemet crown. Great of magic, the eye has issued from your head as the Lower Kemet crown. Great magic. Let's read it again as we look at the crowns. The eye has ushered from your head as the Upper Kemet crown, the Lower Kemet crown, the eye. Here it is right here. The Kemetians themselves are telling you clearly from their own words that the eye is the crown. So make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, that when you see Senka Amen Seken with the crown on his head, and you see the Kemetians with this crown on their head with the swirl coming up, make no mistake that they purposely did that, because the crown, as they said from their own writing, is the eye. There it is. So when Tehuti teaches that the crown is the eye, and people want to argue, go ahead and argue with Senka Amen Seken, and then get back to me after you finish that argument. All right, so now the eye is the crown. That's what Kemetians said themselves. We're not done, though, ladies and gentlemen. We are not done. We are not done. So when you send these big donations like this, you get this kind of answer. I appreciate all donations, and I'm going to answer every question. But when you send in these $27, $72, all these big things, I'm going to give you your time as if I put a book together for you, like none other, like you've never seen it before. Here we are in the Per M Haru, the disc in his horizon, their hearts at peace by rising of seeing thou art, eternity and everlasting. The Urarek crown is established upon thy head. Thou art one, maker of the strength. So here it is. What is the crown called? It's called the Urarek. The Greeks called the Uraeus. And there it is, guys. There it is, everybody. You see it? So the name of the crown right here, that is the eye, is also called the Urarek, because Urarek is the expansion of the snake. We'll get into that later. But it is the Urarek, the crown. See that? The Kemetians themselves speak. They can speak for themselves, everybody. The Kemetians and all cultures can speak for themselves. We do not have to make up any new Kemetic teaching, any new age nonsense. The people speak for themselves, but it's up to us to find what they said themselves. And lazy people don't want to do that, so they just make up things from their head, and then chaos begins. But let's go by the Kemetians say themselves. The Urarek is associated with making things. Now it's going to get super deep. Here we go, everybody. Are you ready? Like Jesus, I think Mendez, he said it's going to be Fibonacci time. So look at this. Urarek is associated with making things. Let's look closely at the word for maker. Let's go back, everybody, and see. What did it say? The Urarek crown is established upon thy head. Thou art the maker of things, the maker of his strength. So the Urarek crown is established upon thy head, and then entik ui ari make maket f, the maker of the strength. So it's the Urarek crown is associated with making things. You see that? And I'm going to show you how exactly it is associated with making or creation. Here we go, everybody. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class. We're about to get deeper and deeper into it. Here we go. So here it is. Look at the word for maker. It's Ari, which is the beginning of Urarek. Urarek and Ari are the same words. They deal with light, expansion, the rising of the serpent, the snake, and they deal with the word to make something. Here's where it gets interesting. So that expansion that you see, the eye, the snake, the serpent, the crown, all deals with making or creating or expansion of things. Let's get deeper. Now look back at the crown eye and note the swirl. The swirl represents things emanating from an origin from where something is made or built. The swirl represents things emanating from an origin from where something is made or built. Look back, everybody. Here is the Urarek crown. And when you look closely at the Urarek crown, right in the writings of the Kemetians themselves, which deals with making something, we see that swirl right there. We can actually shrink it down and go back to the original, and we can see the swirl clearer. It's swirling from an origin going outwards. And we see it there. We see it here. And the word for making is Ari. Ari is the word for making, which is also the root of Urarek. Ari and Urarek deals with making something. Here we go, making. Now look back at the eye, and here we go, everybody. Boom. Let me show you what the word for building something is in the Medu. What do you see, everybody? Look for the word for making something or building. Look how technological exact the Kemetians were. Look at this. To build, here's the word. It's U, the word for build. What's inside the word for build, though, everybody? So the word for make, Ari, which is also Urarek or Urarek. Urarek, to make something or to have something great. All these tied to the same sound. And the word for build, you see a person building something here. What is this? The swirl. So the actual swirl is a part of the word build, and the actual word for making, Ari, I love it. I love this. The actual word Ari is the word maker, and Urarek Oraret, which has the word or in it. Or, it's spelled many different ways. This or is great, is the word for crown, and it deals with the rising of the serpent. We'll get into that in a moment. And we see the word for build is u, and it has the same swirl in it, to build. There it is. It deals with building. What does the swirl build, everybody? Now, like Jesus Mendez said, I think I'm saying his name right. Fibonacci time. Here we go. Boom. The swirl. Oh, this swirl. Thank you, Minner. Of building is called Fibonacci sequence today. It expands in its building at sequence at 2, 3, 5, 8. What body part do you build with, everybody? So here's the Fibonacci, what they call the Fibonacci sequence. It is the swirl of the Kemetians that is on the Araret, which is the word U, which means to make something, and Ari, which means to make something. Here is the swirl, which is symbolic of creation. It is found in many parts of the making of nature. But what do you build with, everybody? Let me go into the room and see. What is the main thing that you build with? Let me go and see, everybody, if everybody is participating in the class. Welcome to the Tehuti Pod class. Here is how we answer questions here. We got a brother here named Professor X, named after my good brother, Professor X, the overseer. R.I.P., rest in peace. For those who want to see me and the rapper, the X Clan, Brother J, moderators, you can put that in the room. I invited Brother J directly to come on to the Killer Priest podcast, and we had a ball. It was great knowledge, information. Brother J played some new lyrics. I spit some lyrics over an instrumental. Killer Priest, I think, spit some freestyles. It was great. You can put that in the room. It was me, Brother J, and Killer Priest on the Killer Priest show. Shout out to the Professor X, who I'm sure this brother named himself after. Shout out to late great Professor X. Okay, and the answer is hands. There we go. There we go. And of course, mind. Of course, you build with your mind. And then physically, you build with your hands. Then like Jesus Marcus says, Fibonacci time. Here we go, everybody. Yay, Brother J, what you say? That's right, it was Brother J. Great show. Moderators, if you find that Killer Priest link, you can put it in the room where it was me, Killer Priest, Brother J. It was a great show. That was a great show. Brother J is one of the coolest brothers. Shout out to Brother J. I may invite him here one day. All right, so you build with your hands, you build with your mind. Okay, so you build with your hands. Let me go ahead. That is absolutely right. Building deals with the hands. Professor X is a female. Wonderful. Professor X is a female. Shout out to the sister Professor X. Shout out to the sister Professor X, who says she's a womb man. Baby. Okay, baby. Okay, there we go. Shout out to sister Professor X. Are you the same Professor X that's a moderator on Sonetter? Shout out to you if you are. We're getting to know everybody. We're linking and meshing groups and rooms and knowledge here. So shout out to everybody who goes from here to Sonetter and back and forth that loves the knowledge. If that was you, the Professor X, when I was teaching, was extremely excited. Shout out to you. All right, everybody, let's get back to it. You build with your hands. So here's the Fibonacci sequence, which represents building. The Ari, which is a word that means building. The U, which is literally the swirl that means to build in Kemet. The Fibonacci sequence, the swirl, which is to make in Kemet, the Araret crown, the swirl that comes out. You build with your hands, absolutely. When you see the man building over here, you see him building, and he has his hands involved because, of course, that's what you're building with your hands. All right. So let's go to the Fibonacci sequence, and let's see how deep the Kemetians were, because guess where the Fibonacci sequence is found, ladies and gentlemen? Boom! It is found in your hand. The Fibonacci sequence can be found in the structural creation of your actual hand. Why do people go to this? I don't know how people, when you hear things like this and see how deep we were and how knowledgeable we were in science and history and knowledge, to want to go back to the Bible, I don't know. You know, shout out to you. But here it is, the Fibonacci sequence, and look at the way the structure of the hand grows at each bone, starting from the tip of the finger to the next section of the bone to the next section. It grows and expands at 2, 3, 5, 8, which is the Fibonacci sequence. Boom, in the hand, which is what you make things with. How beautiful is this? So in Ma'at, we also teach that one builds and creates with her mouth. Somebody put that in, that you build with your mouth. I think somebody put that, your mind, and then you build. Your mouth creates things, which is what the Kemetians say themselves. So you build with your mind, you build, but that's where the swirl is coming from. It's coming from the third eye. You build with your mind, you build with your hands, and you build with your mouth, which is sound, vibration, frequency. Look at the part of the eye that that is the swirl, and see what sense it symbolizes. Look how deep this is, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get deep. Here is the eye. Man. And look at this, everybody. The eye is actually broken down into these senses called the hekets. Okay? So here it is. Each symbolizes, this is the nose right over here. This is 1/2. This is 1/4. This all equals 64. This is going to be deep, though. Ooh, represents the sight. Here's the sight. So there's a sense of smell. There's a sense of sight. There is the brow, which is thought. And there is, this one here is a hearing, symbolized by a horn. And there it is. But guess what the sense of the mouth is, everybody? Remember, you create with your mouth. And boom, it is the swirl called the tet. This is called the tet. Tet is a word that means echo, and it is the word within metet, which created the word metet neter are techet, the jet spine, the techet, which is to echo something, and that is what you do when you speak. That is why in the beginning of the chapters in the pyramid text, it starts off with techet, which is the same as tet, which is echo, to utter. There it is, everybody, the swirl. The swirl is the grain, which symbolizes the plant stalk that you eat, the sense of taste, which is the mouth, which is what you build with. You build with your mouth. Frequency, sound, frequency. We are getting deep here at the Tehuti Pod class, and it doesn't end. We're still going in. Let's go, everybody. We're building on sound, frequency. Here we go, which brings us right into music, sound, frequency. Today, did you know music symbols and octaves are based on the swirl and the Fibonacci? Did you all know this? Let's check it out, everybody. You all have seen this ever since you were a child. Boom, the bass clef, the Fibonacci. There it is. Tehuti, you're making all this up. Tehuti, you're making it up. Music doesn't deal with the Fibonacci sequence. The Kemetians couldn't be that deep. There's no way that music is based on the Fibonacci sequence. Well, here is the bass clef, and here is the Fibonacci sequence. And let's go. Remember, the Fibonacci numbers are 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21. Well, let's see if music today is based on that. Yes, it is. Everybody check it out. Octave on the piano consists of 13 notes. There's your one number in the Fibonacci sequence. 8 keys are white, 5 keys are black. That is your piano, because the piano comes from Kemet. The piano was the organ originally, which was actually the same word as teche. Teche was the organ. This gets deep, everybody. It goes on. That was the organ, which was the sound, which is where we actually get the word organ from. Organ, which is where we get the word orgasm from. The reason why you make a sound when you climax, when you're about to create. When a woman is about to have an orgasm, she has that organ energy. She makes that sound, boom. And when a man is about to orgasm, he makes a sound, boom. And then thus the sperm is ejaculated, and thus creation begins. And it's based on the Fibonacci sequence, which is the organ. You think it's this organ, that organ that's like a piano, also deals with the organs that are in your body. That's why they're all called organs. The things that create your body, when they're all put together, they are organized. All right. Let me stop, man. Let's go on to this. Okay, here we go. We got 13. So 13, that's your Fibonacci number. 8, that's the Fibonacci number. 8 keys are white. 5 keys are black. 5, 8, 13, the Fibonacci numbers. The scale is composed of 8 notes, of which The third and the fifth notes create the foundation of the basic chord. There's your 3 Fibonacci number, there's your 5th, and there's your 8. There's your 13. That is the numbers of the Fibonacci. That is what your music sound is based on today, which is 3, 5, 8, 13 Fibonacci sequence in the scale. The dominant note is the 5th note, which is also the 8th note. All 13 notes make up the octave. All of these things are Fibonacci numbers, which make up the music you listen to today. This is no joke. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class. Let's take a look, everybody. I may have answered this question too much. I don't know. Sometimes I just keep going because I love it. I love this information. I could have just said the crown represents this. Next question, but no. We're breaking it down. Here's a perfect major chord. Perfect major chord includes the first, 5th, 8th, 13th chords, C, E, G, C. Those who are musicians know what this means. Look at this, everybody. 1, 5, 8, 13. There are your Fibonacci numbers right there. The intervals between the keys on the piano, Fibonacci numbers. Here it is, 8 white keys, 13 keys, 1 octave, boom. There's your Fibonacci sequence in the sound, which represents the mouth because that was our first object of music, singing, making sounds, humming, making sounds before we even had music. We had sexuality. Reproduction is called love making. Notice that, everybody? Love making, the Ari, the making. Why is it called making? Can you make love? If you understand the science, you would understand what this really means. People say, you can't make me love you. You can't make love. Go ahead and take some molecules out of the air and try to make love and hand it to me. You can't do that, everybody, but we understand in Kemet, the Ari Nefer was actually the word for making love. It dealt with sound. The Ari was the shape of the mouth. That was the Ar, which was the Ra. That's how you say Ra in Kemet is Ra, or you can put the vowel before the R, which is Ari, Ra, the mouth creating the sound, which is why the mouth looks just like the vagina, lips, and the mouth of the penis hole looks exactly like the Vesica Pisces. All right. I don't get carried away. Here we go. Reproduction is called love making. Have you ever heard the phrase, let's make beautiful music together? Right? This is because in Medu, sound, speak, reproduction, sex, magic, we're all the same. Sex, magic. Woo-wee, man. Let's go. Here we go, everybody. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class. This is just the first question? Okay, here we go. Here it is right here, everybody. Metut. There's your metut. You see it right there, everybody? It's not just metu netter, it's metut. Metut. What do you see? An ejaculating penis. The ejaculating penis is in the word metut because it deals with spitting out sperm to create. You create with your mouth. And you spit out lyrics, or you spit out words. And when you spit out the sperm, you create a baby. And when you spit out the words, you create thoughts in people's mind, which is why when you have a child that looks like you, it's called a spitting image. All right. Here it is, offspring, seed, offspring, descendants. So the word metut, as in metut netter, is a word that means a seed. You see how sound, sexuality, speaking was all connected in Kemet. Let's keep going. Let me prove it. Here it is. Metut netter. Look at that. Seed, metut, offspring. Here's the language. The language in Kemet dealt with ejaculation, dealt with sexuality, dealt with creation because you create with your mouth. The emission of the god. Seed, generations. Metut netter. Met, which is the phallus. The word met and metu netter is the same word for penis. Man as the begetter, because sex magic dealt directly with sound, creating things, which is why you make sounds when you have sex. Ask anybody, why do you make sounds when you have sex? What is the reason for that? Does anybody know? It is actually the very first language. We can get to that in another class. All right, so when you want to look at the meaning of a word, where do you go to? You go to the dictionary. That's the word dick or dyke, which is the penis. That is where the word dictionary comes from. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen. This is why when the Freemasons were creating this language and their culture, they were basing it on Kemetic ancient concepts. So they took the word met, which meant a penis or an ejaculating man, the phallus, and they said metut, which were the words, the definition of words. Well, we're going to create something in a book that has a definition of our words, and we're going to call it a dictionary, going back to the metu, going back to the penis, because the dictionary is the same as our words, explaining words, and the metu netter dealt with the ejaculating penis, all dealing with the dick, the penis, and the pointing finger, which is why when people teach, they use their finger was the pointer or a stick, which represents the elongated penis. Let's go, everybody. Let's get it in. Welcome to Tehuti Pod class. We're going to go to first steps. First steps, here it is right here in first steps. And we go to first steps, and we can see right here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are how you say the numbers in Kemet. And we can see, let me expand this a little bit so everybody can see. These are the numbers all the way up to 9. The Kemetic numbers go to 9, but they change at the number 10. The number 10 is where the numbers change. All the way up to 9 is just strokes and lines like a piano key. But when it gets to change, it changes into a loop. And guess what that loop is, everybody? Which breaks the 9? It is the word met for 10. Here it is right here, everybody. Take a look. There's the word cha right there, which is serpent. And let me shrink this down. And there's the word mech, which is 10. Right over here, mech, which is 10. And cha, which is the palm of the hand, the hollow of the hand. Oh, this is so deep, everybody. The hollow of the hand, because met, which is mouth, mech, mouth to speak, and also in the symbol you see the cha, and the cha, remember, you create with your mouth and you create with your hands. So you have mech, which is the mouth and to speak, and of course inside the mech symbol is the cha, which is the palm or the hollow of your hand. Oh boy, here we go, everybody. All right, so let's go. Emanation, here we go with emanation. Emanation, the flowing or issuing from an origin. Remember the swirl? Emanation, radiation, which is issued, flows or is given out from any substance of the body. So it deals with flowing out, like a watery flow, or flowing out from an origin. Well, let's go to Egyptian language, number 86, list of tools. And what did we see, everybody? See the swirl there? What does it mean to flow out of an origin, like the Fibonacci sequence, coming from an origin and swirling out? And look at this, everybody. Boom, we see the tet. There's the tet right there, which means the copy. The same thing in the word tet, techa, which is the copy, to speak, echo this out, utter this out, which is emanation. And there's the bottom of the uwajit, the crown. There's the bottom of the eye. Everybody get a good look. Oh, man. Here it is, everybody. Look at the eye, and it is this part right here that is the swirl. You see this? The stake and the swirl, which is the mouth, and that is the word that means tet, which is emanation, something coming from a source, an origin, a source, and then issuing and flowing out. Oh, man. Oh, man. I didn't stop there. I'm still going. I need to stop. Okay, I kept going. This is for the brother, because the brother, he gave a big donation, and he just, he's constantly donating that big too. He doesn't stop. So here it is again, everybody. Boom, there is the eye. There it is. After this answer, I'm going to take a couple minute break, and I got to refresh and then come back with the rest. Thus, the swirl, the Fibonacci, represents the sequential flow of nature and its ability to grow, build, organize, organ, ma'at, fashion. This is found in the word crown itself. Here it is, everybody. Boom. Let's blow this up. And we see the word crown with the Fibonacci right over here where I'm putting my mouse. Over here, we see Ararat. Remember Ararat? That's where the word comes from. Right, to make grace, make great. And what is and is in the word Ararat, to increase, to grow. The Kemetians are telling you right there, the word Ararat, from the word, the emanation, which is to grow from a source, the swirl, the growing from the Fibonacci, Ararat from the word Ararat is the feminine, or the crown, which means to grow, to increase, to come from a source or origin, everybody. Ooh, here it is. Let's go ahead and close this answer up. So that leads us into the golden mean ratio. The golden mean ratio, which is the duality, it's side by side parallel with the Fibonacci sequence. They both grow at almost approximately the same rate. But the golden mean ratio grows at 1.16. What does that mean, everybody? That means that if you take a line and cut it in half, let me get some water. If you take a line and cut it in half, it is 1:1. 1:1. If you take that and expand that at a little over half, it is 1:1.6. This is the growing rate of an expansion of the Fibonacci sequence and also the golden mean ratio. So let's take a look in the golden mean ratio and the Fibonacci sequence side by side. How deep were we, everybody? How deep were we? The golden ratio, here it is. The golden ratio definition. Golden ratio is found by dividing a line into two parts so that the longer part is divided by the smaller part is also equal to the whole length of the divided by the longer part. And here it is right here, everybody. There is, look how it's expanding. Golden mean ratio, 5, 8, 13, 21. Fibonacci sequence, the same thing. Side by side. Oh my goodness, man. Let's take a look again at the swirl of the Kemetian crown. Here it is right here. Let's take a look. I'm going to expand this. Boom. And let's take a look. There is the crown right there. Everybody see this? There's Rames. See this? There. Look where it's coming from. It's coming from the sun, the light. You turn it sideways, and that is the circle, the eye. And there's the Uwajit, which is the name of the eye. The Kemetians knew exactly what they're doing. We were serious. We were very, very serious about imbuement and the as above, so below concept. Note the swirl is coming from the sun, which is what? The sun, the light consciousness. The word for light in Kemet is Aku, which is the real name for the pyramid, the structure which represents eternal light consciousness. Guess what the measurements are? Oh my goodness. So it's coming from the sun, which is the light. Note the swirl is coming from the sun, the light consciousness. The word for light in Kemet is Aku or Aket, right? Aket is just a feminine, which is the real name for the pyramid. So the real name for the pyramid is actually the word light. It is Aket. It is the light, the Aku, the Aket structure, which represents eternal light consciousness. And now to close it up, everybody, the light consciousness, the Kemetians took it from the crown all the way up to the expansion of the largest light consciousness symbol on the planet. And let me show you what it is. Here we go, everybody. Boom. Welcome to the Tehuti podcast. Here's how I answer questions. And there is the Fibonacci and the golden means ratio. Remember, the golden mean ratio is 1.16 or 1.6 because the one is already the whole. The expansion is 1.6. So it is 1.16, just a little more than half. That is the golden mean ratio, which is the Fibonacci sequence. As we see the Fibonacci sequence or the golden mean ratio coming out as a swirl from the light, which is called the Aket. And here is the 1.6. And guess what the measurements of the pyramid are, everybody? That is called the Aket. Let's break it down. We have the height of the pyramid, which is 481.4. And then we have the line going down from the slope of the pyramid, 612.01. And then we have from the middle center piece right here all the way to the end of the pyramid, which is 377.9, 481 feet, 612, 380, 377. So we have 481, 612, 377.9, 481.4, 612.01, and 377.9. Remember, this building is called the Aku, which is the light. It represents light consciousness. And what are the measurements that the Kemetians took their time to build it in? Let's take a look. And it is 612.01 divided 377.9. And look what it gives you, everybody. 1.6. 1.61. What is 1.61? 1.61 is the expansion of the golden mean ratio. 1.6, that is the Fibonacci golden mean ratio, expanding at the exact size and shape and height of the pyramid. 612.01 divided by 377.9 gives you 1.6. Ladies and gentlemen, boom, that is it. I am done with that answer. That is my answer, ladies and gentlemen, as to what the crowns in Kemet represent. I hope you all appreciated it. Hope you all digested. I know you'll be watching this over and over again. But boom, welcome to Tehuti Pod Class, where we answer questions as such. Boom. I hope you enjoyed that answer.